Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisperer 88. On your screen you will see a doodle I made for a composition with circles and lines. And I'm going to do something different today. What I'm going to do is, instead of using permanent marker on the plate, I'm going to use my brayer as an instrument to apply the paint directly on the plate. And in order to do that, I have a smaller gel plate. I think this is a 8 by 10, and I'm going to place some black paint here and use this as a launching pad for the paint. So anyways, I think it's convenient to use the small gel plate because it's, well, first of all, it has a nice bouncy texture, and secondly, it's easy to wash. So I'm going to do that. And here is Iron Oxide Black by Lukas. So I'm going to place some of it here. And roll this out. See, this way I can get a nice even application without having it too heavy. So I'm going to do the first . Okay, so I will air dry this and then apply a second layer of different colors. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, back after a few minutes to let this air dry. Now the first layer is pretty much dry. I just want to make sure that it's dry so when I apply the second layer, it's not going to smear. So I have here cadmium red, and I'm going to create different zones of color. I have here Azo Yellow Deep. So these are mostly the bright colors for the second layer. have here deep magenta. Here's some brilliant green. And here's some brilliant blue. So this is quite a colorful second layer. And I will be using several brayers so I don't mix up the colors too much. So I want to have these different zones. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors for a second layer. Now I'm trying to pick up the first layer of black. So I'm going to leave the paper on for longer, about 10 to 15 minutes. And as usual, I'm going to place my scribbles. So what I'm hoping is that all those bright colors for the second layer will activate the black, which is the first layer. And when I make the pull on the paper, all the paint will transfer simultaneously. Okay, so I'm leaving this for about 10 minutes and give the paper enough time to absorb the moisture, and by doing that it will lift the first layer. That's what I'm hoping. So keeping my fingers crossed, I'll be right back. Okay, it's been about 10-15 minutes and I can feel that the paper has absorbed some of the moisture of the paint. The paper feels damp, and that's a good sign. So anyway, let's see what we got. I just hope the paper doesn't tear like it did before. It's a pretty interesting result. Now, the most of the black here didn't transfer, but I like the result. It's a very painterly kind of result. So I'm going to proceed to air dry this and decide what the next step is. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to use Lukas apricot on the top. And on the bottom, I'm using this azo orange. Now hopefully it will create enough contrast. So I'm going to start with the light part. For some reason this apricot color is not, it doesn't have the same creamy consistency as the other colors. I think it's because it has so much white in it that it's kind of globby. But I think if I roll it out enough, it will even out. Okay. Again, I'm going to apply some scribble. Again, I'm trying to salvage the first layer, so I'm going to leave this paper on for about 10 minutes. Be right back. Okay, it's been about 10-15 minutes. Gave me a chance to soak my brayer so it's easy to clean. So let's see what we got. This is always the exciting part because I never know what to expect. I think I was able to do a good transfer because I have both the black and the ghost print, and that's what I was hoping for. I'm really hoping this doesn't tear because the paper is really stuck on the plate. I did, however, treat this plate with some baby oil earlier, so I'm confident that it won't tear the paper. Very cool. Very nice. I'm very pleased with the result. I even love these little traces of, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but it's like these very delicate crackle type textures. So anyways, I'll air dry this and see what the next step is. Okay, I'm going to do a little experiment. I have here some gloss medium, extra heavy gel gloss medium. And what I did is I took a tablespoon of it and mixed it with water in this tub here. And I applied the liquid to this remaining ghost print. I'm hoping that maybe I can recover what's left and see what happens. So this is just an experiment. It may not work, but I won't know unless I try it. So I'm going to use this on this because I have a large expanse of green on the right side We'll see what happens. Now hopefully the diluted gel medium will activate the dried up paint on the plate and maybe it will transfer. I don't know, but there's one way to find out. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. Let's see what we got. Never tried this before, so pretty exciting. Some of it did transfer. Not too much of it, but it was worth a shot. I still like the end result. There's some texture of the orange on the green and some on the blue. It's very subtle. So I'm gonna air dry this and recap. Okay, back from a short break, and this has dried very nicely. For some reason, when the print is perfectly dry, I can step back and look at it, and it tells me what it needs. I think it does need a little collage. And I found some scrap pieces from my scrap box. And I think this will work nicely on the side, like so. And this little guy right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount them. Here's my trusty Mod Podge. And I'm gonna go ahead and prime the so here we go. There. Looks pretty good. That's it for the first print. Now here is the ghost print. this could use a horizontal piece like so. And maybe a smaller piece right here. There. Let me show you the detail. I'm not sure it will show up on camera, but I'm gonna try. It's a very different kind of look. Let me show you the first one. Here's a close-up. I like that mark of the brayer a lot. It does give a very strong graphic element. And that's an example of using the brayer like a brush or pen and creating bold gestures. Here's a close-up of the textures. And I do like the colorful combinations of color. Again, I hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up. And this is an unusual instance where I thought I was going to use stencils, but the print went a different direction, and I'm quite happy with the results. Thank you for watching and subscribing, and I hope to see you next time.